Dear Sir, Madam, I am humbled to receive your request for guidance on how to lead a revolution. As a leader who has gone through the crucible of war, I understand the enormity of the task at hand and the many factors that come into play. I would be honored to share some of my insights with you and hope that it will help you in your pursuit of liberty and justice. First and foremost, you must have a clear and compelling vision of what you are fighting for. Without a strong sense of purpose, your revolution is likely to fizzle out or be co-opted by others. You must articulate your values and goals clearly so that people can rally around them and see the merit in your cause. Next, you must focus on building a strong and capable military force. The ability to fight and win battles is essential in a revolution, and it requires a lot of hard work and preparation. You must have the right equipment, training, and discipline to be effective on the battlefield. You must also be able to motivate and inspire your troops so that they are willing to make sacrifices and push through the hardships of war. In addition to military concerns, you must also be savvy in politics. Winning a revolution requires more than just military might. You must also win the hearts and minds of the people. You must be able to articulate your vision and persuade others to join your cause. You must also be able to navigate the complex world of politics and diplomacy, building alliances with other groups or nations that share your goals. One crucial aspect of leading a revolution is the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Wars are dynamic, and you must be able to adjust your tactics and strategies in response to new challenges. You must also be able to maintain your troops' morale and resolve, even in the face of setbacks and losses. Logistics is another critical factor in leading a revolution. You must have access to the supplies and resources needed to sustain your army and fight effectively. This requires careful planning and management, as well as the ability to procure and distribute resources efficiently. Leadership is essential in a revolution. You must lead by example, showing courage, integrity, and a deep commitment to your cause. You must also be able to inspire and motivate others and build a sense of unity and purpose among your troops. Leading a revolution is a complex and challenging task that requires a clear vision, strong leadership, strategic thinking, and the ability to adapt and innovate in response to changing circumstances. I hope that these insights will be helpful to you in your own pursuit of freedom and justice. As you lead your revolution, you will need to navigate the complex world of politics. You must be able to build alliances with other groups or nations that share your goals. You must also be able to negotiate with potential opponents and find ways to resolve disputes peacefully. It is important to maintain a strong sense of your own values and goals, while also being flexible and pragmatic when necessary. In conclusion, leading a revolution is a daunting and complex task, but it is also one of the most important things you can do to bring about change and build a better future. Remember that success requires a clear vision, strong leadership, strategic thinking, and the ability to adapt and innovate in response to changing circumstances. With perseverance, courage, and a deep commitment to your cause, you can lead your people to victory and build a brighter future for generations to come. Sincerely, George Washington.